All right, just a quick fun video today talking about dark mode. So operating systems now, Windows, Mac OS, have the ability to set dark mode or light mode or even other color schemes. So we can determine in the browser now if the operating system is set to a dark mode or a light mode, and then we can make our CSS change based on that. Now it's a fairly new feature. Safari was the first browser that brought this in, and that was really only about a year ago, back in March of 2019. Over the course of 2019, Firefox and then Opera, then Chrome, all added support. iOS Safari was back in the fall. I think that was in September where iOS Safari got it. Edge was really just in January, only a few months ago. But the point is, most of the browsers now across various operating systems have support for this. So we can start adding media queries into our CSS to change the appearance. Now, we have to use sort of fallbacks because obviously it's a fairly new feature and we need to support the older browsers as well. So I'm going to go through what I'm doing on this page, and then I'll show you changing and how that impacts the page. So what I did was I created some variables. I've got my dark mode and my light mode. So a background and a color for the dark, a background and a color for the light, and these are going to be my defaults. Then just some basic styling for the HTML. There's nothing really about the mode in there. But then for HTML and body, I'm setting it on both because different browsers will implement the background colors slightly differently. So we've got both of these where I'm setting my default background and color. Now, I am using the same values that I have for the dark here. But then after that, if this is supported, I'm using CSS variables here. I'm using the root selector. And then we've got a couple of media queries down here. And this is the media query that we care about here. Prefers color scheme. So this is a new selector that we can use with the @media. And we just ask, is it dark or is it light? And based on one of those things, I'm going to apply to overwrite these things. So I'm going to apply this CSS right here. We're using our variables, the dark background and the dark color, light background, light color. And if we get to this point, if we get to prefers color scheme, then without a doubt, whatever browser is supporting that is supporting the CSS variables. So that's not going to be an issue for us here. All right, so let's take a look at the page quickly. We're in dark mode right now. Now, if I wanted to switch over to light mode, I can come over here, get my system preferences, and then this is for Mac OS. You can do the same sort of thing on Windows. I just have to search for the color preferences in the settings, and right here for appearance. If I switch over to light, there we go, and I can toggle back and forth. So as my OS preference changes between dark and light, the browser picks that up, and then my media query picks that up. Now, if I'm in the light mode, I'm also running a little bit of JavaScript here to detect. And if my page loads and I'm in the light mode, this is what I'm doing right here. I'm adding another message in here, and I could also change this H1. So we can jump into our code and take a look at the script down at the bottom that I'm using for that. And that is right here. When DOM content loaded happens, I'm going to use window match media. And this is the media query that I'm looking for. If the person has put a preference of using the light mode, so this is a Boolean, this matches property. So if that's true, that's when I'm adding the H2 element, come to the dark side here, and we could do other things as well, such as find that H1 header and change its text content to say browser light mode. So we can do whatever we like inside this script, just using the match media and then looking to see whether or not we get a true value back for that media query. There we go. Browser light mode, come to the dark side. So we'll jump to our preferences, go back to the dark. There we go. Now, this itself didn't trigger anything to happen because we have no event in the browser to know whether or not the person change this mode while the browser was open. But we can just refresh the page. There we go, we're in the dark mode. All right, hope that helps you out. If you have any questions, feel free to leave those down below. I'll answer as many as I can. And as always, thanks for watching.